assaulted by a transgender resident staying there. They're intimidating.
This is about the men, the transgender men in women's prisons.
Several times. He says he's been
Yeah, they don't have parents and people that can go in and protect them from boys in the girls' locker room in those situations.
Being locked in a cage with a 6-foot, 300-pound predator is not one of them. Sobolewski was joined by other Republican lawmakers on Friday, just a day after the Trump administration announced it would be investigating Maine and these allegations that transgender residents at the Wyndham facility have been harassing.
So someone in class is bringing up, the 5 Bridges. That was a co-ed jail. Yeah, they used to have a co-ed jail. I think it was called 5 Bridges. Was it in Lewiston or near there? Yeah, I can't remember, but I know a lot of people actually used to request that one because they wanted to be in the co-ed one. Right, and then others don't want to be. Right, and some have suggested that they let those men in there on purpose who just claim to be transgender so they can get rid of certain people that don't deserve to be in jail. They don't even deserve to live. Right. You try to prevent that stuff from happening, but you have a lot of really stupid people in our systems that play these runaround games like that, and they get away with it. Yeah, it's pretty sick and disturbing. And you can turn your head to it if you want and say, oh, you know what, well, it's okay because those big transgender guys that are making the women prisoners feel uncomfortable, well, they deserve to feel uncomfortable. It's prison. Are they really complaining about feeling uncomfortable? No, just the really sick ones that have killed innocent people and they get away with it. We're concerned about that. Right. I mean, we don't care either. I mean, some of them just like the co-ed scenario so they can have sex and stuff. Okay, who cares? I know they don't deserve to do that. They're in prison. Give me a fucking break. I know it gets so old when you're dealing with a lot of these people. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they should be letting those transgender men into the women's prison cells? And can you imagine being a woman? I mean, regardless whether or not you're a criminal and you deserve to be in jail or prison, I mean, does that mean you should be locked up with a big man because they feel like they're a woman? That's insane, right? You would think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, some do that because, then they can have a relationship. Some like it. Right, but then when those same things that they used to help people have some kind of a life and love and it's hard behind those bars, yeah. Metal clanging doors. It's not a fun place. Cold, hard metal, nasty food. Yeah, you're not really getting all the elements you need, really. No, but that's what jail and prison is for, right? It's not supposed to be a comfortable place. They don't want you to want to go back there. Nobody wants to go back there, that's right. When you're living in a life where that seems to be the only option, prison is almost better than some of the fucking sick programs they want you to go on. It's disturbing. Well, in the prison systems, they enforce that too. You have to be on a medication regimen. I know. Look at the money. Just the prison systems, when you look at that and what they pay for their cots, is quite a bit. And then when you look at what they got to pay for all their medications, who pays for all that? Right? And then these people that are like, our tax dollars are going to this, and they make a big scene and get people fighting about it. They don't even pay their taxes. And they teach people how not to pay their taxes and how they don't have to. And why they shouldn't, because it's going to all these criminals. Right. So, yeah, wow. My name's Mary. We're at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, Maine, and I have 4 children here. Yeah, this is where we live. We have lived here since 2006, when our family home was burnt down out in Whitefield. Probably drug retaliation. They said some rats chewed through the wires. I'd guess one of the fucking savages threw a fireball through the back window. I'd almost bet my fucking life on it, you know? I don't really care. We have dealt with drug retaliation and the bullshit of these state workers and druggies and activist pieces of shit since we were kids, and we have nothing to do with the sick fucking shit they do. And how these rich business people use the hate and debate in these small rural towns and get people doing the things that need to be done to help them get their deals done. Are they gonna make you eat maggots? Huh? Are they gonna make you eat maggots? Right. Unfucking believable, dude. I'd get real quick. Michael Scott Garand is the abuser's name here in Augusta, Maine. He has custody of my youngest 2 children, and it horrifies me knowing the abuse they've already been through. Yeah, I can say that. And it's not a false accusation. Prove it. Please, take me to court and prove that what I'm saying is not true. I would love to do that and see the fucking judge that denies the truth. Are you fucking kidding me? Right, so anyways, Merry Christmas. I really hope the proper authorities step in and do what they're supposed to do here. Wait, you want to hear some more?
I'm glad that came out. We were getting ready to send a letter down to DOJ asking for that.
In an email, the Mills administration says this is another politically motivated, predetermined investigation designed to target states that stand up to the Trump administration and its abuses. Last year, the federal government pulled more than $1.5 million in federal grants from the Maine Department of Corrections because a transgender resident was at the women's prison. We've reported on transgender women in the prison before. Andrea Balser, who went by Andrew at the time of the crime in 2016, was sentenced to 40 years after pleading guilty to killing their parents and the family dog. The state representatives who visited the prison on Friday say the women there are uncomfortable.
He is completely inappropriate on a continual basis with them, rubbing himself in front of them.
It's unclear when the Department of Justice investigation will wrap up. In Augusta, I'm Jackie Mundry for Maine's Total Coverage.
They play those sick games on purpose.
Police department and the town's fire
They
department
really do. It's sad.
ice cream finally got settled today. It all started 2 Saturdays
Is that the one who
ago.
didn't give any to the police?
Playfully posted this photo of 2 firefighters buying 4 ice creams and saying the 2 officers made no attempt to offer up some to the police department. And the day since, the departments have been poking fun at each other on social media, eventually challenging each other to an ice cream eating contest that was hosted by the radio station WCOR. This is them racing through an ice cold pint. I know, battling grapefruits there along the way. This was a hard-fought battle here. In the end, the Dunkin' Munchkins box that was labeled police bait didn't slow down the officer. He wins it for the police department, settling this rivalry, at least for now, something we will continue to follow for you.
Stay on top of that.
Yeah, we will.